right, welcome back to the channel. As you saw in the introduction of this video with the graphics and also the description of the video before you click into it, I am playing in competitive golf again. This is the Amateur Players Tour, so I'm excited to work with them to help promote my channel and as well as help promote them. And they were nice enough. Jake, the Kansas City chapter, thank you for putting on a good tournament. He was nice enough to put me with a lot of his friends that he didn't think would have a problem with me with the camera. So I want to thank those guys, Josh, Jake, and Justin for putting up with the camera during this round of golf and helping me grow the mission of bringing awareness and using the game of golf to help with PTSD issues in the fire service and first responder field. So anyway, let's get into the video. It was a blustery, windy day, 20 mile an hour to 35 mile an hour gust. You'll see in the video. Anyway, loving to share this with you. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It will help the mission grow. Thank you. Here we are on hole number 1, playing for the Black Tees in the Championship Division 1 flight. You can see the yardage there, but 510 yards. This fairway cambers to the right, so anything on the left side kind of feeds that way. And you'll see around this green, there's no bunkering. It's just the mounting on the right and left that can give you problems, especially where this pin's at in the back portion of this green. So that's what we got on the first hole. All right, here we go to the first tee. I'm not going to lie to you. I was a little nervous. First tournament back in a while. Have the camera, trying to figure all that out with strangers was a little nerve-wracking for me, but I was able to get a good drive in there, as you see on the first hole. So on this shot, I didn't want to go too long with that pin in the back middle portion of that green, so I chose the 5-iron to see if maybe it would release and get back to it out of the rough, or as you see here coming up, it comes up a little short. So there's what I got. So I am thinking, okay, probably a pitching wedge. Maybe throw it further with a 58, but I chose the pitching wedge here. And just trying to bump it on the green, let it run back to the pin. Conditions have been firm on this course for a couple weeks now, and I hit that one too hard. There, ended up on the back fringe. Or almost on the back fringe. And there's Jake putting. There's Justin walking there. And Josh, you might see here in a little bit. But thanks to those guys for being a part of not minding filming. So I was afraid of that putt because this green, like I said, it's been firm and fast this course. So here's the par putt. Again, I was nervous, even over the previous putt, the chip, and even this putt. And here's the result. I never was comfortable. Again, trying to record with strangers, even if it's not a tournament setting, is nerve-wracking. And I was just getting ready to get over that putt and hit it, but I reset myself and gathered myself and made the putt. So on to hole 2, I'm 1 over. So I'm not used to playing from the tips that often at this course, being 50 years old, and I like to play from the blues at 6,500 where it's enjoyable. But on this hole, everything kind of feeds to the right, off the tee. Got the bunker in the right side, and then it's a 2-tiered green, but this pin was more in the middle front, as you'll see when we get to the putting green. Still a little nervous. This was into the wind. So these next 4 holes are directly into the wind. And like I said, it was blowing 25 to 30 miles an hour at times. So I got away with this one. A little bit to the right. And it fed to the right. See the rope there? That's grounded or repair. So I was able to take a drop out of it. But this ball, I can never get comfortable on these type of shots with the ball below my feet. I thought I aimed far enough left on this one, and I did not. Plus, I'd quit on it, and there it goes. Woo! Off the side of the hill by the green and into this hazard, but there was no water that far up. Justin found my ball for me there. Yeah, the pin's just right by that tree on the right. And that wind took it almost immediately. And I had this long putt to get, hopefully keep close, and just get out of there with a bogey again. Which I tap this in, and we move on to hole number 3. So I think this hole is a well-designed par 3. It's got the water on the right, it's got the bunkers on the left, and it's got that little neck back there where they can put the pin. But it's a little tiered on the left. It's got a shoulder that comes off from the bunkers that gives you fits at times for putting. So here we are. I was unsure if I wanted to hit like a punchy 8-iron. I decided with the punchy 9-iron, and it got it up. I got it too far up in the wind, as you can see. And it ate it up. Short of this green. Got lucky it didn't kick right into the water. So at this time, I'm grinding in my head saying, I got to get this up and down and make something happen. And I thought I hit a good chip. It just didn't run out as far as I thought it would. And that's the game. You got to figure that out. Figure out your lies and see how far it's going to run. But I grinded, and there you go. I made the putt for par. Hole number 4. This tee box from back there, its angle is just weird. You'll see. You really can't see the fairway. I know the camera I had to keep on the lowest tripod setting because the wind was just blowing so hard that I had to keep it on that low setting so it wouldn't blow it over during the filming. But this one is downhill all the way, so it's like a club difference coming down to this green. But it's hard to even see that bunker. If you've watched some of my videos in the past, the right side over there has a bunker. And I finally hit a good drive. Well, I hit one on number 1, but I was feeling more comfortable is what I needed to say there with my drives. 173 5-iron abated with this, maybe the 6-iron on this one, but I felt I needed to get this up, hit the 5-iron, and the wind kind of died compared to what it was, and it went over, as you can see there. So it was kind of a little bit of a gnarly lie. I thought it would come out of there pretty good, and I have to use this camera angle because the slope there, and I just figured I'd give you a better result putting it at this angle instead of way behind me. You really couldn't see the ball, so I chose that angle. Here I wanted to show you Justin's putt just because you see how much it breaks, and it kind of gave me a read on what I needed to do. So here we go. See if I can make a par. Made a decent putt. Just didn't go in. That's golf. So, you know, that one I felt I could get a par on. I should have from where I left it. But anyway, here we go. Hole 5. This is 566 from the tips. And it's just a different look. Again, every hole that I'm playing is just a different look because I'm normally playing from the blue tees. But playing from the tips, I find out sometimes at a lot of other courses that it takes a lot of the trouble out of play. And but anyway, this is a par 5, definitely into the wind here. It's going to be definitely a 3-shot hole. It's normally into the wind anyway, even from the blues, and it's usually a 3-shot hole. But again, I was starting to feel comfortable with my drives. I hit this one well as well, just like the last hole. And then this next shot coming up here, 366 away, 19 hybrid, just to get it down there as far as I can by the 150 post, and see if what I can do from there. So that was my goal there. I did it. Again, I'm starting to feel comfortable now. Here I made, as you're going to see the result, I made a wrong club decision. Should have hit a punch 8, keep it under the wind. And this one, I didn't. I was so untrusting of it, I didn't even make a good swing on it. And this one came up way short, as you're going to see. Came up way short. Wrong club selection. Tried to hit it low, and I didn't even hit the ball very good. Should have chose the 8, got it up there as far as I could, because this is one of those in-between yardages, especially with this pin up front, that you really can't tell. There's just no room for me to land it. So I just tried to throw it up there, see if it would release for me, and I didn't hit it hard enough as well as throw it far enough. So, all right, this is a little downhill or a little tricky one. But as you can see, I made another good putt just to keep it at a bogey. I limited myself to big numbers early on in this round, especially these 4 holes into the wind. If there was a hole that I was upset about, it was hole number 1 that I didn't even give myself an opportunity for a birdie, especially where I left that approach shot. So hole number 6 here. So as you can see, it's got 2 bunkers past this first bunker that come into play quite frequently from the blues, and it does from the tips as well. You can get to them. So there's the concern there, and this is, as you can see how this green is shaped, it's got an upper tier, lower tier, and then kind of like a middle left tier there. And luckily the pin was up front today. It was kind of friendly. I had to put this the tripod up on this hill behind this tip green tee box, I'm sorry, and I hit another good drive. I was finally getting comfortable with the guys I was playing with, the filming, and playing in my first tournament. But as you see there, 119-yard pitching wedge. The wind was blowing to the right of this flag. Made a good swing because I felt comfortable with everything, and the result is up there pretty good. I got a good look at birdie here. So again, I felt comfortable with that approach shot, and I was starting to feel comfortable. I was putting pretty good all day, leaving myself, not getting 2 putts or getting 3 jacks, and except, on that first hole. Again, I was nervous there, but there we go. Great birdie. Got it back to 3 over, and 430-yard hole number 7. It doglegs pretty hard to the right. You really can't tell there, so that takes a little bit of the distance off of it. And it was downwind today, so that helped a lot with that distance difference. This pin was all the way back over that little tier there, all the way in the back part of that green. Like I said, I was feeling comfortable with the drives finally, and I got away with this one. I kind of was a little late on it,
You're gonna like that one.
And I thought it would go a little further and over the hump, but as you're going to see up here, it doesn't go all the way over the hump. There's the best I could do with the flag graphic to give you an idea where the pin was at. 183 8-iron because it was downwindish and out of the rough, and I was just trying to get to the front of the green, which I couldn't see the ball. The guys could. They say it hit off the right slope and fed all the way back to where you see it right there. And this is a downhiller. You're going to see the break on it, and I just hit it too hard here. Oh, down, I said. And so I had to grind over another par putt. Putting was the key today, I think, for me, because I wasn't striking it great. But putting is the most important part of the game, I think. So, to be able to make that putt right there and keep the good vibes going was key. So 189-yard par 3 from the tips. I rarely play it from up there. The pin was in the front right portion of this green. And as you're going to see here, coming up, I chose the 6-iron. It was somewhat downwind and to the right. And I thought about hitting the 7 and just come up short on this one. But I chose the 6, and you're going to see the result here in a second. So a good swing on it, good move, and it's tracking right at the pin. And it goes long, as you can see there. So the ball mark was probably halfway between the ball and the pin placement. So it was a tricky downhill. There I am walking fast. And so, again, I've been putting well. I felt comfortable over the ball so far putting. And trickle down economics there. And leaves myself an uphill putt. So I was pleased with that putt. And plus, a couple other guys had putts on that line. So it kind of gave me a good read. there we go. Another grinding par putt there, or long, lengthy putt, just so I don't three putt. So here we go. Hole number 9. Downwind. It's the normal tee box kind of I usually play with from the blues, and you don't want to be behind those trees. That's death. And so off this tee, because it was downwind and blowing hard as it was, I end up choosing the 3-wood off this tee coming up. And the angle wasn't the greatest either to put the tripod. And again, I was keeping it on the lowest setting so it wouldn't blow over. But you can see the trees there, the clubhouse in the distance. You you just want to be right of those trees. And I hit a little baby draw there, and it was in a good spot for me here coming up. So this pin is in the back right of this green. It's kind of tiered back there, so I thought maybe a pitching wedge to the middle could go downwind, hit, and release up to the pin. But you'll see the result, and like I said, the greens were been so firm, and this took the spin off of it being downwind, and it just released to the back of the green like you're going to see. So I was on the fringe, another tricky downhill putt into the wind, so I didn't know how hard to hit it. You can see me bending over going, oh man, I think I hit it too hard. As you can see, I did. So here we go, another grinding putt for par. And I made it. Woo! So after that start and being 4 over after the first 5 holes, I'm happy to keep it at 3 over after this front 9. So thanks for watching this video. I'm happy to get back into competition golf, and I was able to film it for everyone. So thanks for watching. Love you all. Hit the subscribe button and the like button. And stay tuned for part 2, which will be coming soon, to see how I finish in this tournament. Thanks for watching. Love you all. All right, here we are on the back 9 of my tournament round with the Amateur Players Tour. Hole number 10, 374 yards from the tips. Got to get across that water, as you can see. And then this is an uphill approach shot, and the wind on this day was directly into our mugs. So that uphill approach shot always gives me fits on this hole, especially with wind in the face. There you can see my score from the front 9. Let's see what I can do on this back 9. So again, like I said, the wind's directly in the face. The target, see that big tree in the background in the middle by that, you can see it. So I'm just a little right of that, and it drew back a little bit, and I'm clear of these trees on the right that you're going to see just enough, especially for this pin location. But I will say that those trees, you know, I had to be leery of them because the wind was blowing to the right and in. And on this swing, I just tried to keep it low, and I quit on it and hit the side of the slope there and kicked back into the bunkers you're going to see here. And here we go. The wind's right into my face. You guys have had these bunker shots in your rounds where that sand is going to blow right in my face as soon as I hit the ball. So I was just mainly looking to get this out, maybe get it halfway between me and the hole and have a chance for par, because it was a pretty long bunker shot. As you're going to see, I got it out, and you'll see from the next clip that I still had a long putt for the par. Look at that wind whip on that flag, and I know it's whipping pretty fast because of the fast motion, but there we go, regular speed, and look at it still whip. So I was uphill into that wind. I hit that one pretty good, I thought, and I left myself an uphill putt for the bogey. And here I am, I'm grinding. It's a tournament. In a regular round, I probably wouldn't grind as much. I would have went ahead and putted that ball, but this one I was grinding, knowing that I had to leave this as just a bogey. And there we go. I was able to do it. Hole 11, as you can see there, 389 yards. I'm 4 over now, 1 over on the start of the back 9. So this one's downwind, and it's only like 240 to clear that bunker you saw there on the left. And this pin today was more in the front middle. You really can't, obviously you can't see the fairway there, but the aiming point is that last house of those houses on the right. It's that last house on the left. and I drew it right at it. I'm going to have a good look into this pin position from the fairway. So this wind is blowing hard to the right, and so I chose the 54 from 104 yards. And I kind of quit on that one too, but the result just came up short, and I was in a conundrum here of choosing like a pitching wedge or a 54 or the putter. And as you can see, I chose the putter. Get it running on the green. And as you know, a lot of times these type of putts have a lot of topspin coming through that fringe, and it did. It just kept going. And like I said on the previous video, that these greens were firm and fast. And again, here I am grinding over a putt, this one for par. And luckily, I'd already saw a couple putts on a similar line, so I kind of knew what it was going to do. And that always helps. There we go, made the par putt. And thank God I made it, because it probably would have rolled 4 feet by, and I might have double bogeyed that hole. But anyway, this hole, they had us up from the 481. We're playing at the 424 because the number 1 handicap hole, as well as it's directly into the teeth of the wind. That dogleg left helps a lot, cuts down some of the yardage that you have left into this green. As you can see, no bunkering on this hole. And my aiming point was that tree out in the middle that you can see there. You'll see the line there, kind of on that, and hit a little draw. I was pleased with that one. So 200 yards out, the wind it's kind of in and to the left. And I didn't use a shot tracer on this one because, as you can see, I thought I was going to hit that barber pole there. Thank God I didn't. And that one ran up close to the green, as you're going to see here on the next clip. There we go. So I chose the 54-degree wedge here, and then I set the camera up kind of right here where you're going to see, because if I was further back, you wouldn't be able to see the ball roll up to the hole. So I chose this angle so you can see the shot coming in here in a few seconds. There we go. Ran up there pretty good. Left myself probably about a 1.5 feet, 2 feet maybe. There we go for the par. It's always nice to walk out of that hole with a par. Here we go, hole 13, 526 yards from the tips. And that bunker can play fits at times, but the way the wind was blowing today, and these trees on the left usually block any type of wind, but the wind was feeding from left to right through those trees. If you got it up high enough, it would affect it, but other than that, as you can see on this green, this pin was kind of in a similar position as you're going to see when I get closer to the green. Goal here is just to clear that bunker on the right with a little draw or hit it straightish. And that one I hit like a low draw. Fairways were firm, so it ran pretty good for me. 257 yards out, 3 wood. I figured I was going to get there as close as I can instead of laying up to the 100-yard area. Said, why not give myself a better chance for a birdie? And I hit a good 3 wood. The wind blowing from the left helped that one, not draw as much, and it ran up pretty good. And I think I chose a 54-degree here. Just a little runner chip shot. I thought it was going to feed a little more towards the hole, so that was a misread there. But I had a good look at birdie to get my back nine back to even here. And I did not do a Kevin Na on purpose there. I honestly thought I mishit that putt and it wasn't going to break into the hole. So anyway, hole 14, 438. This one plays uphill the whole way, but it was downwind. So it kind of makes up for the length and being uphill as well. So you can see the bunker on the left and the little grass bunker on the right there. That can give you fits if you hit it into that grass bunker. Feeling good after that birdie. It's
feeling good. You know, my driver, I felt like I was hitting it pretty good for the most part the whole day, except for the first two, first couple holes. If you go back and watch that previous video, hit that one good, downwind, uphill, and you can see the wind is starting to shake that camera. Getting up here on this hill, the wind was starting to affect things more. Didn't trust what I was feeling. Bounced over that little grass bunker I showed you and rolled to the back of the green. And this ball was kind of in a gnarly little lie. I couldn't get comfortable over how it was going to jump out of that lie. And then also into the wind, I was afraid of if I hit it too hard, it just wasn't, it could roll well past. So I didn't gauge it right and had myself a downhill putt. And look at that wind shake the camera. So I never felt comfortable over this one, to be honest with you, and I babied it and left it short. So should have gave myself a better opportunity for that par, and there we go. So going into this hole, I had a one-stroke lead over Jake, and we were looking at they had a live leaderboard if the people behind us were putting their scores in. But between Jake and I, going into hole 14, I was 2 strokes on him. So now I was only 1 stroke up on him. And this one, downwind, this 8-iron would have been enough. I just never felt comfortable again. And boom, there you see why. Because the wind was howling. Knocked over the camera tripod. And here's there's where the approach shot ended up. Jake was kind of right there in front of me for his approach shot. Give you an idea with the 1-stroke lead. And on this one, I just threw it too high. And it just hit softer than I thought it would, and it didn't release. So there's what I got left coming for my par putt. Jake's ball, you can see, is right there. He's coming into market. He made a good chip. He's got a good look at par. And so my goal here was just to take my bogey, and if the putt goes in, great. If not, just get it up there where I can make a putt for bogey. And if he makes his putt for par, then we're tied, and we could hash it out from there. So, okay, I got my bogey. And Jake 3-putted from that distance. And he said he never could get comfortable on he missed his par putt, and on the next putt, the ball was oscillating, and he could never get comfortable, and he missed the next one. So that's the conditions we were dealing with. There you see my score, 552-yard par 5. And you can see the bunkering there in front of the green. And this pin was in the back middle of this green. So the wind was blowing down and to the left. So if you hit it from this tee box, you can get into the gunch on the left. So I would aim a little further right, and it kind of went straightish, but the wind brought it back for me. Luckily into the rough, and it didn't go down that slope that's on the right side into the gunch over there. So 257 went with 19 hybrids downwind. I just figured I'm going to get it down there as close as I can and have a pitch or chip. I felt more comfortable with that than 100-yard shots in. And I hit 100-yard shot in, and I hit this hybrid smooth, kicked hard off this mounting left, and you'll see where the result's at here. I made it all the way over. You see me there. I'm down there trying to predict this lie, and I just hit it too hard. And I didn't pay attention enough to that break there like I should have when it went by the hole. And you'll see here, I misread this one. I should have aimed further left, and you can see it there. It fed to the right. So anyway, I got the par, and Jake made his birdie putt. And the lead was back down to 1 stroke over him. As you can see on this hole, 192 yards. The pin was all the way up front in this round. And Jake hit a good shot right before me, drew it in, and had like maybe a 15-foot putt for birdie. And here you see 182 yards, 6-iron. Debating. I think I had the 5 in my hand at that time, and I went ahead and got the 6. So here we go. Let's see what I do. This is, I know that my game is kind of floundering a little bit from the hole 14 and 15. So, whoop, hit a little pull draw, and I'm happy they didn't go further left into the gunch. But I'm up here on this mound, as you're going to see, and it's not the greatest of lies, but I knew I had to grind over this and get it on the green and give myself a chance for a par putt. Knowing that his ball, you see here on the right there, is not much further from where he's standing, and he's going to have a chance to, could be a two-shot swing if he'd make the birdie. So hit on the fringe, released up, and you'll see where I have a good chance at par here. And there I am trying to read my putt, grinding over it, knowing this putt would put us in a tie if I missed it. And so I'm grinding over it, trying to read it right, deep breaths, taking my time. And let's see what I can do. Cleaning up the debris. Here we go. All right. Grinded for that par. One stroke lead going into the 18th hole over Jake. Now, behind us, we were seeing their scores, and a guy had birdied 16, and he had a one stroke lead over. He was tied with me at the time. And then he had a one stroke lead over Jake. And there was another guy also at 6 over. So we knew where we kind of stood. So that's cool about the live scoring. So again, into the wind. You can see the camera shaking, playing from those back tees. And I just was taking a good tempoed swing here and wasn't trying to do too much with it. And you'll see I only hit this about maybe 220, 230. 190 out, 22 hybrid. The pin is kind of in the middle of the green. And I felt kind of comfortable over this one. Little draw too much, but the result wasn't too bad over on this left side.
Might be even shorter of it.
So you'll see my lie here coming up. It's not bad, but Jake was down here in this like grass bunker hole to the right of me. He made a phenomenal chip. You can see him there marking his ball. It's about a foot away, foot and a half. And I know, okay, don't skull this across the green and double bogey this hole and lose this tournament. Just get this on the green with the one-stroke lead and try to make a par putt. And, you know, I thought I hit this chip shot pretty good. I thought it would run out some more than it did. But at least I gave myself a chance for the par putt. It was kind of a tough one. But it breaks pretty good to the right. I know you really can't see the hole there that much, but again, I can see when I watch my videos, I aim a little too far right when I putt, and I need to work on that. But look at it go. Even with decent pace, look at it go. So I'm taking my time, marking this again, coming up on it. Just get the bogey in the hole, and Jake, as you see, will make his putt coming up. Oh, you don't see it. He marks it. That's where his ball ended up. He makes that putt. We are tied, and as you can see by the graphic here, we are in the playoff. The guys behind us finished 7 over, so it was just Jake and I coming up to the first hole here for a playoff. Again, this is par 5, downwind. Again, a little nervous. Hey, it's competition golf. And I hit this kind of high on the face, and it middle of fairway, got away with the miss, I call it. Jake hit a good one. He is only like 170 out. And I knew from the previous, when we played this earlier in the round, that, okay, I'm going to go a little long as I'm not up on the mound left or right. And I hit this one good, hit on the green and rolled to the back of it. Jake hit his approach up on the left mounds on the left where you don't want to be where this pin's at. And so his chip shot came down and it goes all the way to the fringe there where you see my ball there, but his ball ends up there when he finally pitches the ball down. It's kind of really the only place he could have left it unless he hits the pin. And then here's I kind of had this similar putt in the regular portion of the tournament. And same thing, I left it short in a similar spot, a putt that I kind of already had. So I was kind of happy with that to a point, but here comes Jake's ball. He's going to putt this up from the fringe. He had this baby right on line, and it just died coming up that slope. But he makes his par, and here I am going to grind over this birdie putt for the win, knowing that when I played this hole previously, I blasted it by the hole on the right side, on the left side looking this way. So I just wasn't going to hit it as hard, and it found the hole. So thanks for watching. It was nice to get the victory after not playing in these amateur events for 3 years. So thanks for watching. Subscribe and like the video, and check out the amateur players too if you're interested in playing some competitive golf against players of your like skill level. Love you all. Thanks for watching.